Hello everyone, my name is BB. Yes, that is a chair. Trying to change the thumbnail photo because I don't have editing software, so I use my phone for everything. This is my handy dandy resource, a laptop. Then I have the iPad, and then I have my phone. And my apartment. Messy over there. That's about it. Bedroom in the distance, bathroom with the light on, kitchen behind this wall. Dirty TV, dirty laptop. You know, life of being 30. Not really having much going on besides my husband and I not having any friends, so why bother cleaning? No, we clean. But every time I get in the mood to clean, he doesn't want me to clean. He's like, do it later. No, I don't want to do it later. I want to do it now. Later is now. I don't get around to it very often, and when I am in the mood, he doesn't want me to be in the mood for cleaning. He wants me to be in the mood for lazying around like a sack of potatoes. No, I am not a sack of potatoes. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. So anyways, to YouTube, we must go. To Google, we must go. And today's topic on YouTube vlogger families' child exploitation and social drama that people really don't need to share with society, but I guess they feel like it's the only thing they have going on that they'll use for content and hopefully get views, hopefully get money, hopefully get subscribers, and then they get money for having subscribers and views every day about their social and financial problems. Oh my god, it's the end of the world! So, we're gonna meet Katie and Cullen, McGillicuddy? No. They have Brotherton? Yeah, Katie and Cullen Brotherton is something Brotherton of the like is their last name. They live in Alabama. They're vloggers. They got into it maybe 5.5, 6 years ago when they were pregnant with Macy Gaines, their daughter, who is, I think, 5.5, almost 6. She was born tiny. She still is kind of tiny, but they spoil her into oblivion because Katie wants to treat her like a spoiled princess, and then she comes off as a bratty child to the viewers. And Katie and Cullen never say no. They don't have the word no. So, and then they had their second baby a little bit later on. They had a boy, and they named him Brooks. Macy Gaines, a double first name, but they only call her Gaines. So they include the Macy as like a reverse middle name for when they're scolding her, trying to get her attention really quick. Kind of makes you wonder if she's going to resent having a double first name when she's older. Or she'll just be like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. And then Brooks, they gave him kind of a country twang name with the plural. I think Brooke is a fine name, but Brooks, that's like a last name, a surname. But okay. Images. I'm not showing their YouTube because, well, copyright strike and crap and whatnot. I don't think they would care because their other issues in life are based around things like financial bankruptcy and not spending money on things, but then they have some substance abuse issues that they've been very admitting to on YouTube, and alcohol abuse, and just some kind of crappy parenting mistakes here and there, like they left their daughter in the car when they went to a restaurant. She was in the car by herself when they were at a restaurant for 3 hours. Yeah, that's a big fat no-no. They, what's my spiel? They regret having their second child. They constantly admit that. Katie does not attach well to her second child, Brooks. She was attached to her pregnancy with him, but then after he was born and started gaining personality just shy of a year old, she was like, I don't like him. So she started belittling him at like 8, 9 months old, degrading him, putting him down, insulting him, just telling him off, scolding him, and then praising Gaines for being the daughter she wants her to be. And until now, when their son Brooks is 3.5 years old, Katie still kind of punishes him, degrades him, bullies him, berates him for being a 3.5-year-old, for being all boy, and for existing. I mean, they live in Alabama. They're kind of, I wouldn't say conservative, but they got some kind of old-fashioned beliefs-ish for that area. And what if their son Brooks was more into princesses? Would they be accepting, or would they still be kind of dickish towards an innocent child? They spoil their daughter Mesa Gaines into oblivion. They named their kids very country twang names, a double first name of Mesa Gaines for their daughter, and plural name of Brooks for a boy. They call their daughter Gaines, and only use Macy for scolding like a reverse middle name. Since Gaines was less than a year old, she's been very verbal and a quick talker and easy to learn. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, ma'am, is how they have taught their kids to address adults. They also seem to have their grandparents, or their Katie's parents, boomers, and Cullen's mother, also boomer. They're in their vlogs a lot in the early days. And they have some weird nicknames. Maybe it's a southern thing, but Grand Doc and Grand Dolly for Katie's parents. That sounds like a mouthful for toddlers and even preschoolers to be able to say. Is that a Katie and Cullen thing? Did they make that up? Or is it really their family dynamic to call the grandparents Grand Doc and Grand Dolly? Grand Doc because Katie's father was a retired medical professional in like radiology, what I've read online. And the grandma was just kind of like an HOA, golf club, country club socialite. And then Cullen's mom, Granberry, was a single mom, but they call her Granberry. Like, are berries a thing in Alabama? I don't know. Katie and Cullen are just kind of weird. They make some bad parenting mistakes. They admit to them, but they don't fix their mistakes. They don't repent. They don't say, I take it back. I wish I could have done things differently. They don't say that stuff. They just admit their wrongdoing and repeat the same mistake 5,000 more times. It's really sad. So, that's all I have on Katie and Cullen. I watched them and I subscribed to them until their baby boy Brooks was like maybe a year old, and then Mesa Gaines was 3. And at some point I unsubscribed because it wasn't so much about being family vloggers as it was just sharing their dirty laundry of each other's personal lives all the time on YouTube. And then they lived in a rental house for their first house, which was a fine-looking house. It was like 4 bedrooms, and they had a yard and a nice driveway. I don't know if they had a garage, but they had a nice yard and a nice driveway, and they had a good thing going on where they lived. But I guess the fame and money went to their heads from YouTube monetization and Instagram, and they bought a ginormous house that It's probably too big for them anyways. And they tried selling their house, but it didn't sell. They tried staging their house, but it didn't sell. They tried putting their house on the market, but it didn't sell. They were asking too much for a house that had too many remodels or things that clashed and didn't match well. Paint on the walls or different types of doors and lots of structural changes they made after they moved in. And then they it's like a 5-bedroom house, but they only really used 3 bedrooms. Like, it's too big for them. Their kitchen is too big for them. Their living room is too big for them. Their basement, lower level, and 4-car garage are too big for them. On the other hand, I could make a lot of judgments about the crazy-ass giant mansion in St. George, Utah that the What's Inside family built for themselves. That's too big. My God. Maybe I'll save the What's Inside family for another day. I don't hate on them. I like their what's inside of this video and what's inside of that video. But for their family vlogs, I could care less. So ultimately, Katie and Cullen, folks, they are a hot mess. Their videos aren't about their kids. Their videos are just about their social drama with each other, substance abuse, bad parenting mistakes, bad homeowning, mortgage, financial mistakes. They don't repent. They don't regret. They admit their wrongdoings, but they don't do anything to improve their decision making. And then they make the same mistake 5,000 more times, 500 more times, 50 more times. But they still don't fix their mistakes, and they don't look for ways to improve themselves. I think they know that. And they take advantage of that and just keep on making the same mistakes over and over and over again for vlog content, which is pathetic. Because at this point, they're desperate for income, they're desperate for vlog content, so they make the same mistakes over and over and over again, so that way they can get the vlog income, so that way they don't have to admit defeat and say, we should get real jobs. Katie is a licensed child psychologist with a bachelor's or PhD, and her license is expired, but when Macy Gaines was a baby, she still saw a couple of clients or provided her professional PhD as a licensed child therapist to some people. But now, as a parent, it's like she doesn't understand child psychology anymore. She just kind of has a bad family dynamic. It's kind of like when I used to watch Hoarders on A&E. You'd see all these people who were nurses or retired home organizers. They would be in something that's clean for a job, and yet their home would be a disaster. But their career was the complete opposite of their home. And that's kind of Katie and Cullen there. They could do things with the degrees and life skills that they have. Cullen was once a professional diver and swimmer, and in their first house they had access to a neighborhood pool and would take Macy Gaines swimming and to the pool all the time, and Cullen admitted that he was a lifeguard for many, many seasons. And yet, now they're in times of financial crunch. And they're not taking advantage of being a swim instructor or being a child therapist or a psychologist or a counselor or being a swim and dive instructor. I'm not talking about just coronavirus or anything, but just like the past year and a half. They've neglected their own finances, they've neglected their kids, and they've neglected the long term. They go on major extreme Costco grocery hauls in the same week that they post, we're broke, we can't afford anything. You can afford something. You're able to afford the house you live in. You're able to afford the luxuries. You're able to afford $25,000 a year at preschool for 2 kids. I don't even make $25,000 a year, and I work minimum wage. I think a lot of these YouTubers, these people, these couples, they get into it. Gen Xers and older millennials. Younger Gen Xers and older millennials, they get into the YouTube vlogging thing, thinking it's a band-aid, and then thinking it's an income, and then thinking that it's their permanent life career. And then they become like Katie and Cullen, struggling financially, refusing to admit defeat, and refusing to improve upon their bad habits, making the same mistakes over and over and over again just for vlog content, so that way they don't have to work a real job. Even though, unlike other YouTubers, these two actually have skills they could put to good use to earn an income. But they don't. They don't care. It's all about them. It's not about their future. It's about the now. Katie and Cullen, you are a mess. Mess, mess, mess. Mess rhymes with Jess. No. No, baby, don't do that. You're not going to do Jess Fam, because that is a whole crazy mess of something else. Unless you want me to do Jess Fam, but no, I won't. Tomorrow I'm going to do Daily Bumps. I might take 2 videos. Because out of all YouTube vlogging families that exploit their kids, I'd say the ones I know the most about and have the most opinions on and have watched the most of have always been Daily Bumps, aka the Lannings, and then Family Fun Pack, aka I once learned their last name many years ago when they weren't as big as they are now, but I don't remember the last name, but they are LDS. So it's probably a common LDS name. I don't know, I can't remember. They're just a hot mess. And none of these families want to earn an income with regular jobs or some other way of a career. They think YouTube is a career and that it will get them places. Yeah, it's gotten you to be jobless without a real, dependable financial plan. You all suck. Ruby, you suck. Katie and Cullen, you suck. Ellie and Jared, you suck. Micah Stauffer, you suck. You all suck. Trust me, when I become a parent, someday, in the next 2 or 3 years, I'm keeping whatever job I have and going back to work. And I'll be working part-time or full-time or flexible hours, but I'll be working for the man, not for YouTube. We can't afford the luxuries of YouTube is our only income. That will never happen. I can't imagine wanting to be like all these YouTubers. They make it look so easy, but at the same time, it's not that easy. Because then they have to churn out new content every day, but it's the same content every day. It's nothing new. That's what child exploiters do. They do the same thing every day to exploit their kids, but they never have new ideas. It's really sad. So, Daily Bumps will be my next 2 videos, so stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned.